Yo, this is it. I'm Mr. Fade, and you're listening to Attack of the Beats on IllMuzik.com. Once again, another 5 beats, another 5 reviews. And before I get into it, don't forget there's the Beat This competition coming up August 15th, 16th. 15th is the sign-ups, 16th is when we do it. And this time there's no theme. And it should be good, because when there's no theme, there's a big turnout, you know. And I know some people like themes, some people don't, but hey, look, I mean, the thing with themes is that not everybody's into it, and it's difficult for some people. I know a lot of people would probably just like to just upload their beat, you know, whatever genre, whatever style, whatever. So, you know, having no theme once in a while is pretty good, you know. So, but don't worry, we'll have some others too, and including Warzone, all that good stuff. And don't forget to Beat It Up. We're still doing that, and that's going pretty good. So keep uploading your stuff for that. But let's get into it right away. First up, we've got Can't Keep Still with Double Tapped. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Can't Keep Still with Double Tapped. All right, so what sucks is that, you know, you had the drums that are nice and chill and laid back, very thin sounding, and they're good. It's just that as I'm listening to them, I was like, yo, this is dope. I like it. It's just, I thought that was just like an intro to the beat or something. I thought you were going to have a part where you just drop in the drum, something hard or something, but instead that's just what you carried all the way through. So it sounds good. It's just that because of the way it sounds, the drums plus the music, it just sounds thin. It just sounds like it's something that's in the background or on top of something else or whatever, you know. So for example, if you had like keep everything the way you have it, but just let's say you bring in some drums, like some hard hitting, like loud sounding drums, plus a bass line, okay, that will fill up that whole void. So that music that you have there, plus those drums, that will complement everything else. It'll just be sitting on top, and it'll just be, you know, even though it does sound thin, it'd be okay because you got your drums and your bass filling it out. Although, you know, in that case, I would bring the music up, the melody, I would bring it up more in volume. But as far as anything else, I mean, you know, I think everything's good the way you have it. I just think that you just need to add some drums and bass. You know, I mean like drums to really like overpower what you have right now, because the ones you have are okay, but they're just sitting there. It's thin, you know. It's like, you know, the music too is thin, but I don't know how you mixed it. You know, just the whole thing just sounds kind of thin to me. You know, so that's why I'm saying like add some bass line and drums, you know, good kick and all that stuff. That way it'll be, you know, give the whole beat more substance and all that. You know, so if you had a good kick, you know, a nice snare with some reverb on that, plus the bass line with that music, oh man, that'd be banging. So try that for sure, because I thought this was just like some sort of intro or whatever. So, but anyway, give that a shot and see what you can come up with. But it's a good beat. I like it. All right, so next up, we've got Deuce. We'll see you tonight. Let's ride. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Deuce. We'll see you tonight. Let's ride. All right, so the thing with this beat, what's interesting is that, first of all, it's a really good beat. Okay, it does sound really good, well mixed and everything. But you do have the low end, which is a little heavy when you do bring it in. Okay, so it is a little heavy on there. But the thing is that the main problem I had was that the beat just sounded more R&B-ish, if anything. You know what I mean? So, and I'm guilty of that too. Where when you're using certain plugins and whatnot, it kind of takes you away from what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? It's like me, I'd like to make a certain style of hip hop beats, and when I'm using plugins, which I still do, it depends on what you're using. And it's so easy to get carried away. You create this melody and everything's lush and beautiful sounding and all that, and that's okay. But it depends on what you're trying to do. So, in your case, I guess, the way it is, the way you built it up, maybe you didn't realize, towards the end or whatever, that it's like, this, like, do you picture a rapper on top of this? Like, can you picture somebody spitting on top of this? I don't know. I mean, it's possible, of course, but it's just that to me, right off the bat, I'm thinking it's, it's like more of an R&B beat or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that, I'm just throwing that out there because I've done the same thing myself, So just remember, when you're making a beat like this, even though it sounds really nice and everything, at the end of the day, you're like, you listen back to it and you're like, okay, can I picture somebody on top of this? And if not, there's other things you can do with this beat. Obviously, it's definitely something you can use. Somebody can use in a movie or TV show or whatever. I mean, because it does sound really good. But like I said, for me, I would just, I don't know, it's hard because with VSTs, it's like, VSTs, plugins, whatever you're using, is that, like I say, it's too easy to get carried away with it, and all of a sudden you come with this really nice melody and stuff, and it's like, yeah, it sounds nice, but are you really trying to do what you're trying to do, So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself with this, but no, it's a nice beat. I like it. Everything's well put together. It's some dope shit, but yeah, like I said, to me, the main thing was just, it was just a little bit too the R&B-ish or whatever, but it's dope. It's well done. So, all right. So next up, we got Ghetto Ortiz with Ola Red Rum. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Ghetto Ortiz with Ola Red Rum, or is it OLA Red Rum? I don't know. It says Ola here. That's what I see. But yeah. All right. So for this beat, I do like the way it's put together, because one of the things I like is that how you make the listener, anticipate. Right. I'm anticipating for the beat to drop in or whatever. So you did a good job with that. But I want to hear more snare. That's the thing, because you just like keep using the kicks and some hand clap stuff, whatever. That's cool, but I just want to hear more, like an actual drum pattern going through, like kick, snare, whatever. So it's okay what you did or whatever, but like I said, just like traditionally, I want to hear some kick and snare and stuff. And you do have to be careful with the low end though. That shit's heavy. I mean, that's pretty heavy. So be careful with that, because I didn't really realize at first, 'cause I'm listening to the other sounds. All of a sudden I was like, whoa, wait a second here. That's pretty deep, So so be careful with the low end. And like I said, it's good how you put everything together, but it just sounds like you're trying to do a little too much with everything. Like you're trying to do too many change ups, too many patterns all at once or whatever. So I mean, that's just how I feel about it. But I think that's the case. Really, is that it's just a little too much going on. So try to simplify it a little bit. Especially when you're having your drum pattern, just simplify it. Watch the bass, and for the sounds that you have coming in, like those high-pitched sounds and stuff, they're okay, but they do get a little annoying. So, but the beauty of plugins, I'm assuming it's a plugin you have, is that you could just substitute, that sound with something else. So try that. I mean, it could be any instrument or whatever, but try that, because it just gets annoying. It's like, it's good, but I don't know. Maybe if you had somebody rapping on top of this, then obviously that sound wouldn't be as noticeable, or maybe it'd just be a really good fit. But on its own, as a beat instrumental on its own, yeah, it could get a little annoying. So, but I do like the way everything's put together, though. It's good. The mixing's pretty on point. So yeah, but just a few change ups, and you'd be good to go. All right. So next up, we got Kid Alchemy with Through the Trap Door. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Kid Alchemy with Through the Trap Door. What's interesting about this beat is, actually, before I get to that, I'll give you props for the bass. That's some heavy bass, man. That's some heavy shit. And it's like I'm listening to it, and it's like, yo, that's heavy, man. And I'm like, yo, I could definitely picture somebody driving around playing this. It's they're low rider, really low, playing this shit, and it's just rattling the windows, rattling other people's windows. Babies are crying and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I definitely see that. Yeah, but that's some heavy bass. But yeah, but as far as the beat itself, what's interesting is that from what I hear, everything's good. It's just the mix, it's just the whole mix. Because for me, I think right away I would suggest, okay, the bass, bring it down. Okay, everything else, bring it up. The drum pattern's good, but it needs more thickness, let's say. And it's a good pattern, nice rolls and everything like that. I like that, and I like the little melody you have and all that stuff. I just don't really hear it much, So the bass is so overwhelming. I think if everything basically just was mixed properly, really well, then that'd be great. Everything would sound really good. I mean, mixing sucks for a lot of people. I mean, including myself. I hate doing it. It's kind of fun in a way, but it's not. And I still struggle to get a perfect mix. I think everybody does, but yeah, it's just I think if you just mess with some levels, then you'd be good to go. Because from what I hear, it is dope. I do like it. It's just that with the bass, I couldn't really hear too much, So, but yeah. Anyway, it's a good beat. I think it's just the mix that needs to be fixed up a bit, and that's it. All right. So next up, we got No Nonsense Beats with Can't See You From Here. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was No Nonsense Beats with Can't See You From Here. All right, so this one, I really like this one. It's good because it's like you created this nice little track, like a nice little melody, and it's not something typical you'd hear, in a hip-hop track, let's say. But it works. It really works. I mean, I would say the bass is a little heavy, but it sounds like it's nicely compressed. Like it's kept in check, you know what I mean? Nice smack and snare with the reverb, that's good. But then you get the keys and the little doot, I mean, that stuff just works. I like the way you have your verse, your chorus, and all that stuff. It's just well put together. And as I'm listening to it, I'm thinking to myself, I could definitely picture somebody on top of this, somebody rapping on top of this. And I think this is a type of style of beat that people need to do. You know what I mean? Like, I think more people need to come up with their own version of whatever. So like this beat, for example, I'm listening to it. I can't classify it as a trap beat, and it's definitely not a boom bap beat. So like, what is it? Is it halfway between each? I don't know. But yeah, that's what people need to do. That's just the impression I get right away, is that this is like a different type of style, so people need to try to do more stuff like that. So yeah, but I like it. It's a good beat. It's well put together. Like I said, just be careful with that bass a bit. But other than that, it's just well done. It's good. Dope. All right, so that's it from me. I'm Mr. Fade. This is Attack of the Beats. Keep sending your beats in. I'll keep reviewing them. And my favorite beat is... The winner is... Drum roll, please. No Nonsense Beats with Can't See You From Here. Let's check it out.